But my position used to be, because I knew what happened when it came to meeting people on dating apps, kind of to your point, if you're meeting somebody on a dating app, you have to go in, and I'm not saying that this is how it should be, but it is how it is. You kind of have to go in assuming that they're probably fucking somebody else. And so for this reason, I was actually like, bro, I'm not going to be a traditional guy with you if there's a chance you're fucking somebody else or dating multiple other people at the same time. A lot of girls do this. They'll like entertain other dudes while they're fucking at least one other guy, two other, who knows what they're doing. It's like, I would feel kind of wrong if I was investing, even if it's a $20 fucking hamburger. I ain't gonna pay for a girl on a date and then do all the gentlemanly traditional shit, and then you get the doggy bag to go. You take it over to the dude's house who never paid for anything. You fucked him on the first date, and then you want me to be traditional. You want me to pay for a first date. I was always like, nah, we can go 50-50. My views have changed a little bit insofar as I feel like I'm dating different kinds of, I got off the dating apps, dating different kinds of women, like vetting them beforehand. Are you involved with any other dudes? I'll just straight up ask, like, are there other dudes in the picture? If there are, I'm not interested. But back then, I'm like, yeah, these girls are probably dating, maybe even fucking another dude. Not gonna pay for the first date.
And real quick, a lot of times if a woman really likes you and she respects your effort, she'll offer to pay for the date or do something for you. Or I'll cook, just come. No, so it's like she didn't offer him nothing but IOUs, and he ate that up. Like, no, you're a clown.
Yeah, and also just, a point on this, like in terms of if you want to get the girl, you should pay for the date. It's just like the most optimum move. Like even if it's unfair or whatever, like you should just pay for that shit, because it's just like some girls are gonna be like, oh okay. They're gonna have an issue with it. So if you're actually, your goal is to get the girl, like you can do the whole like equality shit. But if you're trying to like min max, be most optimum when it comes to dating, you should pay. But it's like like looking at it from principle, like if a girl is fucking another dude, like you should not be doing traditional shit for her. Like she can get your providing and protecting when she's your girlfriend, when she's your girl. But if she, like, imagine you fucking died for a chick and then like she was gonna fuck another dude that night. Like what the fuck? You know?
That's a little extreme.
Yeah.
Well, it's not extreme.
It could be that way, though. You never know. Like, life is life.
And it could also happen when you're exclusive, you know? Like.
Oh, like cheating.
Yeah, and
sure.
So I feel like you are what you attract, and if you want a traditional woman, you have to be a traditional man.
Dating in relationships is if we honest, it's a dice roll. It's all a gamble. All of it is a gamble, man. You don't know. So to come in with this high hopes, gee golly whiz type of shit, like nah, bro. Like you gotta be realistic. You know what I'm saying? And as a man, I'm sorry, I never jumped into a situation like I got insurance plans. Like, I got friends. Like I'm not just blindly just giving you everything. Like no, you're gonna earn this shit, and I'm gonna put you in situations where it's not a transactional situation. You don't owe me nothing. I don't owe you nothing. I'm assuming you're talking to a person. Now, sometimes I kind of want you to talk to somebody because now you can compare, contrast, and say, okay, I see. Sometimes you gotta let things go to see if it's really worth it. So if she's talking to another guy, don't be jealous. Assume that she's not your girl. She's not in your bed. You should assume she's talking to somebody else, and you should too. You should be talking to somebody else. You're just talking. I'm not saying you should be having sex with multiple people, but if take away the intimacy part, male and female in the beginning, I don't think there's anything wrong with literally talking to different people. You're gauging out who's who and what's what. So a man come into a situation, well, we had a date, she told me that we might, and I believe her, then that's what you get. Like, where are you from? Like, I don't know. It's all about where you're from and how you grow up. I grew up in a fast-paced environment, so I had to learn quick. Some people grow up in these rural towns, and they just, old McDonald had a farm-ass upbringings, and they try to deal with people, you know what I'm saying, in different environments, and they think everybody gonna feel sorry for them, but the world is fast, bro. You gotta catch on quick. I grew up in the New York City metropolitan area. I learned real early that women say one thing and do something else. I seen all the pretty good girls go with the bad guys, so I'm not gonna go and say, hey, I'm gonna save her. No, I'm gonna move accordingly. So some dudes just need to get out their neighborhood, move from their neighborhood, their environment, go somewhere else, and just roll they royal oats, get that wind beneath they wings. You feel me? Like get out your head.
Get the wind.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. Like people get played every day, B. Like get over it. Like you'll be all right. You're a man.
Yeah. But Andrew, this sort of ties into some conversations. We've covered this topic before. This one's a little different, but I mean the whole like waiting for sex thing, and I think like this is just another example on the pile of this. This is probably every guy has some sort of story like this, and we hear it from the women on the show too. But Andrew, does this further solidify kind of at least my position on this when it comes to the whole like waiting for sex thing?
Well, not really, because your idea here is you want disclosure, right? And you want disclosure so that you can make the determination, because you're saying, look, if you want to make me wait, but you just made this other guy who didn't wait not wait, then you have already established that that she's disclosed this, right? In this case, this guy was victimized. Now, you could say, well, he didn't have the requisite experience, but then if you also say in the next sentence, and the thing that'll save him from that in the future is getting the requisite experience, then we have to admit that he was victimized. There's really no way around that, right? So in this case, Brian, I'm not sure how it actually helps your case, because you would demand disclosure, or else you wouldn't know that she wasn't willing to sleep with you, right? Or that she had slept with another guy so you could apply the standard.
Well, it's more so, I guess it ties into this whole thing of you're dating a girl and she wants to wait. And then there doesn't have to even be another guy in the picture, but like she previously, like she's had some one night stands, her last boyfriend, they hooked up quickly, and then you come into the picture, and then she's like, oh, I want to wait 3 months, I want, whatever it is, and I'm just like,
yeah, but how would you know that?
Right.
I mean, I would get the disclosure, hopefully.
Right. That's my whole point, right? It's like, so that's why this doesn't actually solidify your position, because had he had the disclosure, this whole thing wouldn't have happened to begin with, right?
Oh, well, I'm not really talking anymore about that specific situation. It's more so just kind of the general, like the whole waiting thing that I have a quarrel with, where like if look, women are free. Look, if you had sex with 100 men, I mean, I wouldn't be interested in you if you had sex with 100 men. But if she previously had sex with 100 men within 30 minutes of meeting them, and then I come into the picture, I mean, that'll immediately be a disqualifier. But okay, just for the sake of the hypothetical, and then you want to make me wait 6 months to have sex, I'm gonna lose interest. I'm just not interested.
Well, yeah, I mean, of course, but this has always been your position. Your position on this has always been pretty consistent, which is just, I would feel like I was playing second fiddle if you decided that you were going to make me wait, and the last 10 guys you were with, or 5 guys, or 4 guys, or 3 guys, you immediately went in. I mean, why would I do that, right? What was so special about them that you would do that with them, and then not special about me that you wouldn't do that with me? So I mean, I've always understood the argument.
Yeah, it's just a raw deal. It's a raw deal for the guy, and I would just I would doubt the sincerity of the position. It just feels manipulative. And it's like, look, you're free to do what you want. I'm just probably gonna immediately.
Well, I've always thought that it was faking virtue. That the idea was to fake virtue.
Yeah, and I mean,
that's always been my position.
Yeah, and there, I think one of the girls maybe said it here at the table. It's like, I'm trying to think what it was, but basically, what was it? Oh, it's like, okay, so they view like the guy who's worthy of the relationship. It's like, oh, you're worth waiting for, but it's like, so you treated the guy who's deserving of the relationship worse than the fuckboy. It doesn't make sense. Like, you're so important to me. I treated sex like it was sacred for you, but not the other 50 guys who I gave it to on the first night, who were fuckboys and were assholes.
Yeah, but that's because I respect myself now, Brian, and I didn't respect myself then, right? That's because I respect myself now.
True.
Yeah, I think it's. I do think that there's a significant amount of fake virtue that comes with this, and the idea is just. She's shit testing you, right? Shit testing you.
Yeah.
And the virtue aspect of this is to say, well, look, I'm virtuous. You're virtuous. We're all virtuous. When maybe perhaps that's not the case, because most of the time I hear them say this is, I want to make the right guy wait. The right guy being a guy who I consider virtuous. So if you're not sleeping with him because he doesn't want a woman who is promiscuous, then wouldn't you just be faking this as a virtue? That then becomes the question.
Yeah.
I think guys got to realize, and it's kind of tricky, but you got to understand how women speak. They're not going to give you the answers. they're gonna speak in code. Sometimes I know it sounds weird. I know a lot of guys is so black and white and say, "Well, she should have said it." She's not gonna say it. If she likes you, she's not gonna make you wait unless she's a virgin. Unless she's a virgin and she's telling you to wait, is because she doesn't like you that much. She likes you enough to see that you might take care of her, but who she likes for a relationship and versus who she's attracted to versus who she thinks is safe for her is two different things. And sometimes guys are the safe guy. You're not who she's attracted to. And we be thinking, why is she attracted to? Women are attracted to objectivity regardless of what they say. And I think a lot of times men be listening to what women literally say and believe them. And she's not going to tell you the answer. She's going to reveal certain things. And women, y'all may not admit it, but it's true. Women going to tell and say certain things that publicly feeds their image. But behind the scenes, they not always going for the super duper nice guy. He might be a little rough around the edges. He might be going through something. They don't want this cookie cutter guy. So a lot of guys who come with that cookie cutter energy and get played out, they think the woman did them wrong. It's like, no, you too busy listening to women tell you what a man should do instead of just being a man and follow your energy. Don't be abusive. Don't be wild. But a woman who likes you is not going to tell you to wait. She don't even talk like that. She's only talking like that to the guy that she knows will wait, while she actually gives herself to the guy who just be himself, and she likes that. So I think guys just need to learn about women more.
I don't understand this position though, because it's from my end. It just seems like you're blaming the
Let's
men
ask the ladies.
in this. The men say, well, wait, yeah, I listened to what she actually said and heard exactly what she said, and so yes, of course, based on what she said, I did X thing. That's how human beings operate, right? We listen to what each other. That's what we have to go on.
You ever had a girl say stop doing it, but she really wants you to keep going?
Hang on, I just listened. Listen back. Hang on. Okay, so I think that the idea here that there's like a special code that is easy to crack or something like this, I think that that's in many ways foolishness. I think ultimately that men themselves, what other barometer do they have to go off of except communication? They have to communicate. Now, like with anything, you have to utilize your intuition with communication and understand doublespeak. You get that from men sometimes too. But I don't really understand what else you have to go on. And if you say, well, you should have known better, even though she told you everything in the opposite, it just sounds like you're blaming the guy for it and giving the woman a pass.